skippers. I would expect by now that you should have friends in the house that whenever they're not around, you will know. And so you can reach out to them right now and let them know that we are back. I want to appreciate all of us. And I want to say thank you to all our leaders, all our moderators, all the team working in various units. We do not take it for granted. The numbers of the people who are doing incredible stuff, it's so amazing. I mean, going by the numbers in the house and the impact that we're making, especially we launched the team's devotional, the feedback, and the testimonials has been massive. I mean, we're getting a lot of feedback from parents, who sit with their children every day, and they have to do the devotional together. We still need more people in that team, and so please find something doing within the house. So let's invite as many people as possible. Now, we're starting a series, and it's not. The series we are starting is not my forte. So I'm introducing it. That's what I'm doing this week. And then we will do the practical side of things from next week. Because next week, we're going to be dealing with, how to export. If you want to get into export, we're going to do that next week. And then some of the things you need to watch out for, the legal requirements and all. We're going to do that as well this month. So you don't want to miss any of the sessions. You want to tell all your people. I mean, you can see from the videos we have seen that there's a lot that we can do as Africans, if we really, really want to take the world. The Nigerian economy is in a state of comatose at the moment, and we can all see. There's protests going on. I mean, the rise has gone up. Everything seems to have gone up. Someone bought what's it called? Poundo yam yesterday and said 16,000 naira. Ayola poundo yam. That thing used to be like 1,000 when I was in Nigeria. 16,000. I mean, how do you even calculate inflation? So it looks like there is a whole lot. But one thing I discovered a long time ago is that many of us are so much in love with Nigeria that Nigeria can become your weakness. I mean, I was there. I love Nigeria so much that I wasn't thinking about every other country. I was thinking Nigeria. Then it dawned on me that my father wanted to save Nigeria till my father passed, right? And then Nigeria was not saved. And so I quickly borrowed myself some brain, right? And then I started making plans for my life. Now, one of the things you need to understand is that I'm not saying everyone has to leave Nigeria, but there is a lot you can do in earning Forex. You can set up a business in America and earn money in America and save your money in America, there's a whole lot you can do in different countries of the world. Literally, you need to beg our leaders, and it's a shame that you have to beg them for everything that can move the life of the people forward. They don't seem to be interested. I was in Nigeria. I had meetings with Ministry of Interior Affairs, had meetings with people who were not interested. Some of them were clueless about what they were doing, right? And it can be very frustrating. However, I always tell people that Nigeria is not the only country that exists on this planet. Some of the solutions you have, if you take it to Ghana, Togo, if you take it to Botswana, if you take it to Zambia, Zimbabwe, Kenya, right, they will literally mob you, right? And because you can walk in and see the president, walk in and see the vice president, walk in and see Uganda, thank you very much, Sabuki. You can literally see some of their presidents and some of their governors that ordinary senator in Nigeria, you can't see them. They are like gods. People don't understand leadership. I saw the speech of the Mr. President before I slept. Apparently, it's been released to the pressmen, and I'm in a press group. So they sent it to us. I read it, and I couldn't really understand what it was saying. It was sounding like a campaign. It was almost like someone reading a speech of 1 year anniversary in power. You didn't talk about the real issues. You didn't talk about policy change. You didn't talk about what you're going to court that will make life easier for the people. You didn't fire non-performing people and say, okay, we're going to reduce our bogus special assistants. So many special assistants doing nothing. Some of them have no business being special assistants. I didn't hear that, and then just say, okay, people should stop protesting. I don't understand, the insensitivity of leadership, but that is what you're dealing with. And so the ease of doing business is tough right now in Nigeria. And so you cannot sit down and just say, okay, we're loyal to Nigeria, we're loyal to Nigeria. No, be loyal to humanity, right? Because the concept of Nigeria, I've shared it with you, it doesn't really exist from a framework or practical side of things, right? It's just an adjective that makes us feel good, because then you begin to ask for the vision, the mission, what are the values, who is a Nigerian, what are the attributes, what are the traits. These are things you need to ask for that many of us have no answers to. If you ask the governors and the senators, they don't have answers for these things. So it's important for you to begin to look beyond Nigeria and begin to look for strategic partnership, right? And so we are going to talk about that all through this month. But for today, I'm just going to lay a bit of a background and share a few things with us, and we'll be done. By the way, congratulations to our women for making us proud. Where the men are failing, the women they keep making us proud. The Nigerian female basketball team just defeated Canada a couple of minutes ago. So congratulations to our women, right? We can see you. We see our medal hopeful in Olympics are women, right? So I don't know why women cannot lead us. Let us hand over presidency to our women. Let them begin to lead us, since women, we are veiled in everything, right? So, I don't believe in all this gender stereotyping. Anyone that is competent should lead. That's what I believe. So, congratulations to our women. Please celebrate yourself. If you're a man here, please make sure you are the one that does the cooking for your wife today, because they are the ones making us proud at these Olympics. Where is Okwe? Okwe, Yemi, make sure you cook for madam. Okay. So business across borders. I want to welcome you back to the second part of the year for us in House of Saviors. We go on 1 month break, and our 1 month break, I believe, was good for some of you. I hope you rested, and I hope you are back and better. Right. And so I'm very serious. I'm going to ask Madam, you need to cook for her. All the men in this building, make meals for your wife today to celebrate our women, for non-performance of our men, but the performance of our women. Even there was a lady that was supposed to run 100 meters. Our administrative madness deprive her of that. So they put someone else. I don't know, maybe it was bribery. They put someone else who cannot run. The person lost. That lady won her heat early this morning while I was sleeping, and she had about the second fastest time. So we're hoping she wins another medal, right? So let us praise our women. Anyways, so business across borders is all we're doing this month. And so we're back from our break. We're back from break. So this year in House of Saviors, we say a year of partnerships for prosperity and impact. And almost everything we plan to do this year, we've achieved almost everything except for maybe 1 or 2, right, as a house. And like we have told the leaders, from next year, we're going to focus more on the regions and less on the Sunday meeting. We're going to focus more on the regions so that the regions can take shape. Some of them are already taking shape, North America, UK, Africa, so that they can do geographically relevant topics and conversations. And then we'll do less of meetings, more of strategic and implementation meetings across wherever our members are. Now, so this year's goal is to develop our people to partner together for prosperity. That was our focus for this year. And, so far, this is the month of August. We have done a whole lot. Uncle Nedum, I can see you. Please go and cook for Dima or take her out. All right. Okay. So we intend to grow our tribe to heal from past trauma and trust-related issues. We have focused a lot on that. Develop their capacity to earn and invest together through cooperatives. We have launched a cooperative. Our cooperative is at the annual general meeting last week, and they're launching a whole lot. They now have health. They have education insurance, life insurance policy. They're launching that. They're working on health insurance, and I know they are working. As at yesterday, they started thinking on agro business, which is basically feeding the nation. So they're planning to get some people who are interested in agri to go into agri, and I know they have a group for exports as well. So a lot is going on in the cooperative, and I'm really, really proud of Dayton for what she does. She leads that team, and then Dayton is very, very busy herself with Mr. Godswill. I think Dima is in that place as well. Thank you very much for all you do. We need more people to join because cooperative grows with numbers, and so we're driving the numbers up. And then collaborate to start making social impact. We can already see UK is doing that. UK team, kudos to you guys. They've divided themselves into various groups, and then they are working together, building capacity. Want to build a family that works and take responsibility for the next generation. And so that led us to launching the devotional for our teenagers. And then thank you to Sheung and the entire team, Adeola Benson, everyone, Bukola, thank you, everyone. These people work for free. Hope, thank you. They go around the clock, they search for materials, they write the devotional, they record it, so let us appreciate them. People in the house, let's appreciate all these people, who are doing things behind the scene. I've only attended their meeting a few times, but they've organized themselves so well. Thank you very much. God bless you. They are taking care of the next generation, which is something we have to do. Then we want to standardize all our service groups and regions. We have UK standardized. America is working on theirs. And America is Canada. America, I know Canada is also doing something. Nigeria is organized, at least Northern Nigeria is very organized. And then Southern Nigeria, your leader is back in the country, right? Then we want to grow our citizenship to 1,000 formidable solution providers globally. That's what we plan to do this year. We are nowhere near that. That's like the outstanding goal for the year. But I'm not really worried about that. What we are going to do, and we're okay, someone says, my children love SAVE. Thank you very much, Star Molara. We are appealing to you every Sunday. Make it a point of duty to invite 10 of your friends to the meeting. That's the least you can do, at least, right? The flyer for this month is out. I'm sure it will be shared, right? Please take it, invite your friends because we believe that we can do a whole lot, right, together if we have more people who understand where we're going and what we're doing. So please invite them. 2024 major events that I wanted to do this year. Fasting out of negative thoughts. We've done that successfully. Subscribers hangout and opportunities. We've done 2 sessions this year already. House of Saviors Planet Next Generation Devotional subscription base. We've achieved that. All the materials for August, they've finished writing and uploading and recording. Investment Edge, that's our cooperative. We've achieved that. They're about to start doing share capital, which means people are going to crowdfund to own real estate, right? They're about to start that, and I'm really excited about that. Summer break, we've completed a summer break. Founders Weekend, that's in September. First week in September is our Founders Day. So we're going to have a 2-day event. That is outstanding, and our Christmas break is outstanding. So we literally have like 2 major events outstanding for the year, right? Someone is saying, how do we get the devotional? Flo Royal, impact is good on my children. Thank you very much. Please, someone should respond to that. Benson Nadiola, please kindly respond. Okay, so this is our roadmap for the year, which we released at the beginning of the year. So we've covered partnership for prosperity and impact, gold mine of wealth and love, building your personal war chest. April, we have the Black Billionaire series, which we have covered. Please, admin and the leadership, can you help me respond to the people asking questions in the group? May, the Black Billionaire series as well. June, enjoying everyday wealth. I believe Ayo Lawrence is somewhere on this call. July, Sabbath, which is our rest. August, business across borders, which we're doing starting this month. September, building family legacy as an African. We're going to focus on the family in September. October, changing the world. That is giving back. November, supernatural intelligence, which we're going to focus on spirituality. And then December is Thanksgiving and reflection. Okay. So thank you very much, everyone, for partnering with us. Now, today we are looking at business across borders, and I'm just going to use a verse of scriptures, right? And that verse of scriptures is Genesis, where the Lord had said to Abraham, go from your country, right? Go from your country, your people, and your father's household to the land I'm going to show you. I'll make you into a great nation, and I will bless you. I will make your name great, and you will be a blessing. So the purpose of God blessing you or wanting you to make money and do business across border is so that you will be a blessing. Now it says, I will bless those who bless you, and whoever curses you, I will curse. And all the peoples on the earth will be blessed through you. So Abram went as the Lord has told him, and Lot went with him. Now, this is a strategic verse that I think is beyond much more relevant to us as well, as a people, right? So he changed the name to, and the Lord had said to House of Saviors, get you go away from your country from your people and your father's household to the land I'm going to show you. Why is the Lord asking him to get up? Number one is because your comfort zone is where you are loved. But your comfort zone is where you can also be grounded. As long as Abraham was within his people, he would never be able to achieve God's plan for his life. And so a lot of our people need to understand that God's plan is for us to scale whatever we do. It's for us to take positions elsewhere. Nigerian and Africans have not done that successfully. I mean, Hillary, what's the name? What's the name of this lady contesting for presidency in America right now? Kamala Harris. Historically, if you check the people America pays attention to, they are the people who donate during election, who their money is influencing and funding things. So if you check how much is donated to causes during election, you will find that the Jews are the highest donors, followed by the Indians, the Chinese, the Asians, then the Black Americans. African immigrants don't show up on the list at all. And so when Kamala Harris was, nominated, whites for Kamala Harris at the meeting, and they raised, I think, $7 million at that meeting. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. I think my American people, they raised $7 million. Other groups have been raising meetings. So the African in America decided to have a meeting last week. And so someone sent me the link, so I decided to attend. The first thing I noticed was that we started the meeting late. Okay, $8 million. Thank you, Olanike. We started the meeting late, African time. Then they talk and talk and talk, back, forth. After a while, I got tired, I left the meeting, right? Because the meeting was not tending towards how much do we stand to raise. And so you will discover that when we now shout, we are powerless, is because our collective wealth is not being visible anywhere apart from affecting us personally. Now, God's promise to Abraham is so that the world will be blessed. All the people on the earth will be blessed through his family, right? And so God promised him, I'm going to make you great, which is fine. We love that. But then you will be a blessing. We don't like that because we don't want to give to other people. We would like to receive, right? And so if there is anything that is the bane of the black man, is the quest to accumulate what he doesn't need. And you can see that Nigeria is a case study. You look at leadership at every level, from politics to religion, from religion to to the business world, and you see leaders who are comfortable to live in affluence, opulence, in the midst of scarcity. I couldn't believe that a cup of Gary in Nigeria is 300 naira. I thought I was joking. I was dreaming when the person said it to me, and I had to confirm, right? So if the cup of Gary is 300 naira, that's literally what we waste time in times past. Yet, on the other side of town, people are doing parties and souvenirs are iPhones. Then you are looking at the equation. Common hospitals we don't have. So if someone suffers heart attack, it will take God for the person to survive. right? And then you are wondering what exactly is going on. So we display, oh, I can't be poor. We make that statement, but then what about the people next to us? And so you realize that our capacity, so you see there's a protest in Nigeria right now, and the people who are protesting, you can be sure most of them can afford daily square meal. They can take care of themselves. But there is a people hired to protest against them. Majority of the people hired to protest against the protesters are really the hungry, are really the ones who don't know how to pay their school fees, are the ones whose future has been mortgaged, but they are protesting against the people trying to fight for them. So you can see that until a society transcends survival model, they will never grow. So there is an intentional, calculated attempt to literally impoverish the people. Education is in a state of comatose. And so they are powerless because they are used to being raped, that they are no longer looking for someone who doesn't rape them. They are not looking for a spouse. They are looking for a subtle rape, a rapist who does not rape violently. So our people are now looking for someone who is a rapist, but then they say, okay, this rapist is better than this one. You know, at least this one does it gently. He kisses me before he rapes me. That other one does not even touch me at all. He just comes and jumps on me. That's what we're dealing with. But God is calling you and is saying, I'm going to make you a blessing, right? And Lot went with him. Now, I'll talk about that Lot bit. I've talked about it over and over in several meetings later. But you see, I did a comparative study of the success factor for international business between Indians and Jews. And I found 5 similarities. And that's all I'm going to share today. From next week, we'll begin to do the practicals of getting into export, because all of you need to earn in Forex. Everyone here, we need to earn in dollars so that we can, and we're not earning because we want to, live in affluent. Honestly, I don't have a dream car, really. I don't have a dream car. I don't have a dream jet. My life is very simple enough, because how much, if I build a mansion of 22 rooms, how many can I sit in? How many cars can I drive per time? If I buy a private jet, can I sleep in it? I can't sleep in it. It makes my work easy, but then, there's a whole lot. I think affluence, and that's not to say don't dream it. There's nothing wrong with dreaming your dream house, but then as you grow older, I'm picking lessons from older people. I've seen the people who built mansions. As they grow older, their children are out of the house. The mansion now looks like a liability, and then they are trying to sell the mansion and buy a smaller house. I see that all the time in America, and I don't want to fall into that cycle, because the purpose of history is to avoid that error, is to see the vanity of life and to avoid it and to focus on what is most important. But it looks like people never learn their lessons. They must get into their own problems, and hope that other people learn from them. Now, 5 common success factors for international business that I have studied. Number 1 is that Indians and Jews, there is community agenda and a strong community ties powered by strong family values. Why this is critical is, so take Nigeria. When people say Nigerian people, I hardly use that word, because when I hear Nigerian people, I'm thinking, which of the Nigeria? Is it the southern part of Nigeria or the northern part of Nigeria? Because they're not the same, right? And so what has happened over time, what that has deprived us of, because there is no convergence of this is who a Nigerian is, or this is who an African is, you don't know what to expect. And so we can all have an agenda and say, as a community, our agenda is to build wealth and to ensure everyone in the House of Saviors is wealthy. We make basic minimum. Our generation, our children coming after us, they must not lack. At least they must be able to afford the necessities of life and improve the wealth. If that's what we set to do, right? Without adequate training for everyone to collectively own the vision and for the leadership to selflessly abdicate a whole lot of power to the people, what is going to happen is the people will develop their own agenda, especially when leadership does not demonstrate the sense of care and the sense of love for the people. everyone will now be looking for opportunity to steal, which is what is happening across leadership across Africa. Because I would expect, if I were to be the president of Nigeria, what I'll do today, for example, is to say, my people, we're so sorry for what we've done. Based on this strike going on and all the protests, the first thing I'm going to do, leadership by example, right? The budget that has been issued to Aso Rock, kitchen or whatever, I'm going to cut it by 60%, right? And we're going to divert the money into, maybe agriculture. Within the next 3 months, terrorism must end. Our farmers must return. However, the Nigerian military wants to do it. We don't care. They need to do it. All the special assistants are hereby fired. Every public officer, you must not have, whether you're a senator, you must not have more than 2 special assistants that the Nigerian government is paying for, right? In the next 4 years, we're not going to change any car for senators and blah, blah, blah. If you can't use your car to serve Nigeria, then forget it, right? Make pronouncements like that to say all the aids, all the jets we want to buy, we're not going to buy all those things because our economy is bleeding, our people are bleeding. Until we are able to revert back to status quo, we will all work on this together and we'll create a working committee made up of all the young people and blah, 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 blah. And we'll be working together to find a creative solution because the economists have failed. Everybody, you just do something that makes the people feel you empathize with them. Come and tell us, you have saved money, you're saving money out the price of Gary in the market, right? So it's because there is no community agenda. And so leadership across Africa, once someone becomes leader, everybody worships him. You can't hold him accountable. I mean, religious leaders cannot be accountable for, they can't render account, for example. It's not audited. They can't render account. And when you ask questions, people will look at you and say, are you crazy, right? So community agenda and strong community ties powered by strong family values. And that is why you will hardly see 2 Indians contest for mayorship in any nation of the world outside of India, right? In, I think Calgary or Edmonton many years ago, there was going to be 3 candidates for mayorship, 1 Indian, 2 Nigerians. They asked the Nigerians to step down for each other. They refused to step down, right? They went to the election. The Indian won the election. If you added the votes of the 2 Nigerians, they could have won. So it was lack of community agenda. Because if there was a community agenda, there would have been a community leader who they all defer to, who could have told them, you know what, a win for one is a win for Nigeria. So you collapse your this thing, but people, everyone is a law to themselves. So community agenda says, this is who we are. This is our agenda. Our agenda is to make money and to solve problems and make money in any nation of the world. So wherever our saviors are, they will look for opportunities and then they will do a business case, and then we can all crowdfund it, and then whatever we make is shared by all. That's what is called Commonwealth, right? We prorate people's investment, right? And what that does is there are people who may not be able to take part in an opportunity because what they earn is low at the moment. But if you create an entry that says, okay, we'll sell share capital, a share capital is like 100,000, right? And so if someone has 5 million, you can bring your 5 million, multiples of the 100,000, but someone who has 100,000 can also take part in it. In 10 years, his 100,000 would have grown simply because you belong to a community. In community agenda and strong community ties, you see the Jews, you see the Indians, and what I've found out that has worked for them is number 1, energy alignment. There's an alignment of their energy because the worst thing you want in a community are snitches. And that's where Lot came in. Now, Lot, God did not call Lot. God called Abraham. But Abraham was supposed to leave his people. I'm sure maybe God has seen his people that these people are going to sabotage what I'm planning to do. It was interesting to know that before Abraham, his father actually had a plan to go to that Canaan, which was the most sophisticated city. So Canaan was your New York or your Lagos in the days gone by. So his father was in the village. He wanted to go for better opportunities, right? But God has a bigger plan for Abraham. But when Abraham was going, the Bible says, and Lot went with him. Now, Lot is an example of a snitch in a group. Lot does not care about the group. Lot cares about himself. Lot desires what you have. Lot does not love you. He's only around you because of what you have, right? And so if you look at the trajectory of Lot and Abraham, you will discover that after a while, You know, because Lot followed Abraham, right? He was eating in his house. Lot also grew. And Abraham, being a leader, he was that kind of leader that wanted everyone around him to grow. It's not that leader that craves worship, where I'm rich, everyone is poor, everyone looks up to me, I'm sorting them. So Abraham will establish you and sort you and ensure that you are fine. You also become a Lord and you can take care of other people, which is what leadership should be. But then Lot grew, and then there was a strife between their workers. Both of them have two companies, separate companies, and then they became competitors. Ideally, if Lot was smart, if Lot believed in community agenda, what he would have said is, no, you know what? Our organization is an extension of Abraham's organization. So there is no point. He would have called the staff to order. But he did not call the staff to order. You know why? Because what he wanted was what Abraham wanted. But he doesn't know that, yes, you can replicate my business idea, but you can't implement it like me. And even if you can implement it like me, you can't scale it like me because I am the one that has it. I'm the one that understands it. I also have the blessing, right? And so he grew, and then Abraham, being a fantastic leader, he could have dealt with him. He could have sent him away. And that's the thing. When people hurt you as a leader, instead of fighting them or dealing with them, you apply what we call meekness. Meekness is what I can do in my power. I refuse to do it in my wisdom. I can kill you, I can hurt you, but I am not going to sow that seed, because as long as the earth remains, seed and harvest will not cease. If I sow the seed of vengeance, I'm going to reap it. So you know what? Let us separate. And that's why for many of you, as you move to the later part of this year, you need to check the lots in your life and separate them and settle them. Some of the lots, you need to settle them and just give them some money, go and set up your own thing. Some of them, they need to leave your house and go and rent their own space. You can even rent their own space for them because they have hurt you enough. Some of them, you need to take them out of your life and say, what do you want? You give it to them and let them go. Now, Lot, Abraham called Lot and says to him, you know what? This community is not going to grow with you. Right? But he didn't say it that way. He said, you know what? So that we don't get into all this competition, you choose, and then I'll take what is left. Now, ideally, if Lot was smart, who should be doing the choosing? Should it be, you should have said, oh, my uncle, please, whatever you give me, I will take. You were the one that brought me here, but no. That's how you know that lots don't care about you. It's about opportunity to take you out. If they have their way, they're going to kill you. And that's why a community cannot grow with people who say, what are they doing there? Are you not sure that they are snitches? They talk down every idea, but they never lift a helping hand to solve any problem. And so the Bible says, and Lot looked up, but he saw the plains, he saw the beautiful places, unknown to him, because Lot does not choose with sense. They choose with emotion. If a Lot wants to make a marital choice, they are obsessed. They don't love. And so they will choose the beauty, they will choose the packaging. They will win the lady, but they don't know what to do with the lady. That's Lot. It's the Lot syndrome, right? If Lot wants to choose a career, they don't check the vision of the company. They will just say, how much do they pay there? He looks for the fees. He gets in there, then he realizes that this is not what I want, and they begin to create problems in there. Now, Lot chose the most beautiful places, but like they say, all that glitter isn't gold, right? That if you are blessed, let them put you in the midst of the desert. You will turn the desert to a city. We have seen it. Dubai has turned the desert into a city. Nigeria has no natural disaster, but our leaders have turned Nigeria. It now looks worse than it used to be. And so Abraham, was smiling because, you see, let them take away what you have. If you have the mind is intact, you can replicate it anywhere they put you. A star will shine anywhere. My father used to say that. Now, Lot chose that place, and then they separated. The moment Lot left Abraham, God spoke to Abraham. So it means that there are people, there are situations, habits in your life that is blocking your next move simply because you have not emptied the cup. If you don't empty the cup, God cannot fill it. There are liabilities you have carried. There are negative energy you've carried just to make peace. Oh, just because they are siblings, just because they are family members. You've carried them all your life. They've hurt you consistently, but you keep, your mother comes to cry, your father comes to cry, oh, pastor comes to cry, oh, give them another chance. Everybody's crying, but these people consistently hurt you. You need to let the lots go. It doesn't mean you're not going to assist lots in the future, but they cannot have a space in your community. Now, I'm talking community agenda. Pay attention closely. Now, Lot went, and God spoke to Abraham, and he told him, as far as your eyes can see. So you have no business fighting people who cheated you in times past. See, God will take care of them. You need to, don't mourn. Oh, this guy messed up my life. Oh, this lady messed up my life. This staff stole from me. This person did not respond to me. This person did not remember. No, 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 no. God wants to talk to you. Can you look up and open your ears? Because God spoke to Abraham. I'm sure he could have, as a human being, felt betrayed. But no, God spoke to him. As far as your eyes can see, to you will I give unto thy seed after you. Some of you, you are fixated on Nigeria, fixated on Africa. Stop complaining. Look up. Look up. Because God wants to scale you to do business across borders. As far as your eyes can see. What do you see? In the midst of the decadence, in the midst of the chaos, when you look at your eyes, lift up your eyes across borders, and you look at Togo, what do you see? When you lift your eyes across borders, you look at Kenya, do they have enough pharmaceuticals? Can I set up something there? Can I do strategic alliance in Uganda, in Kenya, in other parts of the world, where I will be like a god? Can you see what God wants you to see? Because many of you are fixated on Nigeria. Naira is, see, I came to Nigeria, I spoke for people, and I turned down a lot of speaking engagement because if you pay me on 1 million naira for speaking, let's say, it doesn't solve any of my problems in America at all. It doesn't pay anything for me by the time I change it. Right? So God wants you to look beyond your immediate environment where you've been hurt, where you've been broken. Quit crying, quit complaining, stop blaming someone. Look up, God wants to talk to you. And I think I'm speaking to someone here today because you have been complaining and grumbling and blaming your ex, blaming your past, blaming the guy who came into your life, blaming the woman who came into your life, blaming your staff, blaming your mentors, blaming everybody. It's time to look up because God wants to speak to you and he wants to give you instruction because it's going to make you a generational blessing. And so if you read the story, right, how it panned out, eventually, Sodom became a liability, a messed up country. I mean, I can talk about Sodom. I did a study on Sodom. Interesting marriages they were having there. Incredible city, you know. And then, but Lot enjoyed the madness anyways, because Lot, they enjoy compromise, right? But when Lot was in crisis, it was still Abraham that sought to bail him out. It was the one that negotiated. So some of these people, you are going to negotiate on their behalf behind their sin, and they are not even going to be aware that you are negotiating on it because it was Abraham that had access to God, right? And then eventually angels came, and angels were going to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, and then Lot hosted them. Maybe one of the attributes he has learned from his uncle. And then the people of the town, homosexuals, they came and they said they wanted to rape the angel, right? And look at Lot. Again, Lot is an expert at throwing people under the bus. Lot did not say, you know what, guys, rape me. You know what he said? He said, I have 2 virgin daughters. So Lots don't care, is a behavior. They are never going to change, right? It's a behavior. He's thrown his uncle under the bus. Now he's got 2 children, and he says, I have 2 virgin children. Let me put them out, right? You can do whatever you want with them, but leave this man. So he's an expert at throwing people under the bus. Right? And that is why in your community, you want to read your community of Lot because they're going to hurt you. Their strife, their behavior, they're going to hurt you badly. And so eventually, I mean, I can go on and on about the story, but then they got Lot out and the angel said, flee to the mountains. See, they were even trying to help him flee to the mountain. You know what he said? He said, no, let me stay in a small place. If the guy did not want to leave compromise, he did not want to leave, maybe he does not own himself. What he has owns him. And that's why his wife kept looking back till she turned to a pillar of salt. But he said, flee to the mountain. But then he said, let me stay in this small place. Lot is small-minded. They think of immediate gratification. With a Lot mentality, you can't do business across borders and you can win. And so he was in that sewer, that small place, small-minded place, because you have a large heart. You want to take on the world. Lot is only careful about where he is. This real estate, we will die here. You have an abundance mentality. He has a scarcity mentality. He was in that place that his 2 daughters slept with him. So, energy alignment. Number 2, ideology and theology. One of the things I didn't learn early is to promote an ideology But with my further learnings, I have learned now that ideology without theology cannot get the buying of anybody. So if you check the Indians talk, they literally created their own religion. They call it Hinduism. They have their own Lord. They call him Lord Shiva, right? Lord Shiva has got messengers, and they believe in the worship of Lord Shiva. They have what they must not eat. They have what they must worship. But in the midst of that, their business intelligence is built into it, and that's why they respect their gurus. So when their guru says, everybody move into renewable energy because that's the future, all Indians move in there. You know why? Because the ideology is mixed with the theology. And so the ideology is, as Africans, we want to take positions now. If we say you're an African, you must be trusted. That is what we're doing in House of Saviors. If we say we're doing business together, we must respect every agreement. Nobody can collect people's money and run away and jump out with their money. It's never going to happen. That's why it takes us a lot of time to put systems in place. But then theology, to say, what do we believe about God? What do we believe about his people? What are we chosen to believe together? That God has anointed us, that any nation we get into, we're going to prosper. That's the belief of the Jews. Wherever the power God has placed in me, we find expression in that sector, and I deploy it with wisdom, the land will answer to me. That's what you read as, wherever the soles of your feet shall tread upon, I will have it as a. We quote it, they have systemized it, right? And so the same thing, the Indians believe that God has sent them to illuminate and provide light for the rest of the world. And so you can see them in various nations. So you can see them do Diwali. You can see the Jews on the Sabbath. But we don't have that. What we have is a borrowed religion that this person say this, that person say this person say this. Everyone is just confused. So ideology must match theology. And what theology and ideology does is, when you meet anyone from the community, you know what to expect, because they have the same belief and the same mentality, right? And that's why you need to protect your heart this period. Stop jumping from one meeting to the meeting, one meeting. You will suffer constipation because you have all kinds of theology and ideology inside of you, and then you are confused, right? Quit all those places of, demon wants to kill you. We don't need demons want to kill you. God wants to bless you. It's what you should be focused on right now. So that's number one. Number two, global perspectives. They have a global perspective. Someone call it glocal, right? You must have a global perspective. God told Abraham, as far as your eyes can see. Where you are sitting right now, what other nations do you see? Can you put it on the chat box? What other nations do you see yourself establishing yourself, doing strategic partnerships? Or all you see is Nigeria, you see is Zambia, all you see is whatever. You say, I'm just okay here. At least I can buy a house. I'm living in Lekki, I'm driving a car. And you feel good, right? Global perspective. The Jews have it, the Indians have it. So if God says to you, look up and choose, I'm going to give you all the nations of the world. Do you have the capacity to see it? Right? What nation are you seeing outside of Nigeria? Okay, somebody says Netherlands. Fantastic. What do you know about Netherlands? Do you know about their syntax? Do you know about their system of irrigation, drip irrigation? Netherlands is a small country, but the output from agriculture, is being exported to various countries. So Nigeria has no excuse. Do you have a global perspective? What do you read? What videos do you watch? Right? Are you so fixated on skits from Nigeria that is making you laugh that you are not in touch with what other cultures are doing? Global perspective. And global perspective, please, is not travel. Because that's the mistake we make. Say, God, bless me, give me international breakthrough. What does that mean? Many Nigerians say, God, I want to do international ministry. Their only understanding of international ministry is fly to, and you see all the posters, invading America. You are not invading America. You are invading Houston, or you are invading Dallas, or you are invading Maryland. And even Maryland is not aware you came. You need to know, because you are restricted to a venue. So don't say you have invaded America, because America is 380 million people who are not aware. The percentage that are aware you came is like 0.001%. So people think, oh, I'm doing international. International, you can sit in Nigeria and actually go international. Mark Zuckerberg is doing international ministry. Bill Gates is doing international ministry. You can actually be shooting your skit and be doing international ministry from Nigeria. The guy who did go, you know, other nationals are dancing his dance. Now they know the guy. So global perspective, it starts from your heart. As far as your eyes can see. And how you begin to think global perspective is, can God bless humanity through you? If God puts the food of LGBT in your hand, will they be fed? Or your bias and the fact that you can't stand them will restrict you or prevent you from being a blessing to them? He told Abraham, through you, all the families of the earth, all is going to be all. So Indians and Jews have a global perspective. That's why Johannesburg is controlled by Jews, right? New York is controlled by the Jews, and they are not living in Israel, right? Even parts of Nigeria is controlled by the Jews, and then the Indians and the Chinese, and maybe Russia wants to have a say now. Number 3, resilience and perseverance. They are very resilient, Jews and Indians, and they persevere. What that means is they never give up. They know they will suffer losses. They know the lot will betray them. They know people will do stuff, but they never stay in there and say, you know what, that's the end of my life. Oh, that's the end of my life. No, no, no. They are resilient and they persevere to say, you know what, this community, we're going to build it together. We are going to build it together. I love this vision. We're going to do it. They don't just show up when, and that's the bad thing about us as Africans. When it's time to do the heavy lifting, to do the work, we are missing in action. But when the food is done, we show up. We say, I'm one of them. No, but some people are doing the work. We've talked about people doing devotional right now. If you have the skill of writing, why don't you volunteer to join them? Right? Or to edit, or to voice it for them, or to do stuff with them, right? We have the investment committee. Why don't you volunteer to say, okay, I have an idea in this area. You know, I can provide some support and things like that. Indians and Jews, if you see them, Jews can be investing on the same spot for 10 years and there is no return. Because they are so sure that the mind of this project is not for anybody to swindle us. So when they suffer loss, they suffer it together. Resilience, they keep bouncing back. I mean, how do you bounce back as a people that Hitler tried to exterminate? Indians, they are chasing them from up to pillar to post, but they keep bouncing back. Resilience and perseverance. Number 4, long-term strategic view and partnerships. For you to do business across borders, please, I know Africans, we have been immersed into this gospel of miracle. You know, they tire Jesus. Oh, miracle is not God's plan. It's not God's consistent plan for humanity. No, you are a co-creator with God. Miracle is God introducing a possibility that can become a product and service. That's what a miracle is, right? To say, okay, somebody teleported to heaven. It means we can create a technology that is teleportation, right? Oh, somebody, Elijah was taken to heaven. It means we can fly, create an airplane, right? Immaculate Conception by Virgin Mary. It means we can create IVF and solve problems. Miracle is God advertising what He needs humanity to think through and make into a product and service. But if you have been built on miracle, you will not take responsibilities for your life. And miracle is miracle. In fact, till tomorrow, the law of aerodynamics, right? That keeps, is it aerodynamics? Or what is it again? That keeps the plane on the air. I will never understand it. I just pretend as if I understand it, right? That the plane will be suspended mid-air from America to Nigeria. I can't understand it. I still think it's a miracle, right? Long-term strategic view. You need to think long-term. All these, you know, that's why you've lost money. They've told you, oh, you know, bring 1,000. We will double it to 10,000. And then they give you one. Hey, you go again, you put the money back. They give you again. And after a while, one day, the platform is lost. That was how many of you lost money to crypto. The platform is lost. You don't even understand the business. You don't know what they are doing. You just heard. And yes, some people will make money, but what is the essence of your life when you are making money from what will make other people cry? And then you are okay. You have made money, but the people you brought in, they have lost money. They are crying. How does that help you? How do you sleep? So long-term strategic view and partnership, you know what? We are building for a long goal, right? I know Sister Buki, I love her. We are going to be together for the next 20 years, right? It doesn't mean we're not going to fight. We're going to fight. We're going to, but we will understand that, you know what? We have an assignment to do together, which is literally setting our people free and helping them understand that you can build wealth as a community and build for the long haul, right? So it would mean that we build partnership with our people who are in those various nations, whom we can trust and say, you know what, you are representing our interests there. What are the opportunities there? If real estate in Nigeria is becoming unaffordable, can we provide housing for Botswana? Can we provide housing for Liberia? Can we provide housing for Kenya? Can we provide housing for other countries where they won't give you mortgage? Can we crowdfund and do that? Long-term strategy and partner. And lastly, education. They invest in education. I mean, I spoke to the head of an Indian community in Watford, and he said to me, Praise, when our people go and study law, they are not studying law because they want to get a job alone. They are studying law to see the loopholes in the constitution of every nation. So they bring it back to our community, they report to us, and then they help us take advantage of the system to get what we want. Education is important. Cultural intelligence. Many of our people, so we come here, won't plant a church, and we don't bother to study the culture. At the end of the day, our own people are the ones who are there, right? So, and we say, oh, we're doing international ministry. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not denigrating anything, and I applaud everyone setting up stuff, whether church or whatever, right? But education, we need to know the laws. You know, last week, I was doing some research, and I stumbled on the fact that in Texas, you cannot solicit for the service of a prostitute. And so, if you solicit for the service of a prostitute, you have committed a felony and you can go to jail. So I put it in the community, one community that I belong to of Africans, and all of them live in Texas. And I said, are you aware of this law? Nobody knew about the law, but this law was passed in 2021, right? And apparently, as I began to dig deeper, I realized that there was a pastor who was soliciting for a prostitute, and then there was an undercover police who he was the one he picked, and then they arrested him, right? And so, but people didn't know. So education, it's not just going to school, it's to know what are the laws of the land, so that you don't run foul of the law and they now confiscate your money and they say you are doing money laundering. Jews and Indians, they come with skills. They are skilled. And in fact, it's not just one skill, they are multi-skilled. If you live in America, you will see the Mexicans. You ask a Mexican handyman to come and help you out, right? He says, oh, you want to fix your TV. The guy comes, then you say your TV is not working, I mean, your fridge is not working well, he can fix it. Your toilet is not working well, he can fix it. You need to mow your garden, he can fix it. You need to do this, he can fix it, right? The guy becomes indispensable to you and they collect cash. They don't do transfers. So skills, our people, whatever you do so well, whatever you do right now, make sure you are the best. That if you are a tailor in House of Saviors, make sure you are the best tailor. Make sure your designs, your curtains, your stitches are the best that exist, right? Because we might need to export them with time. If you are into pharmaceuticals, make sure you understand the mixture so well, right? Because we will need your services to preserve this community from dying. We will need your knowledge, right? If you are a data analyst, make sure you are the best that exists. Skill, then innovation. What can I produce? What can I produce that we can exchange, you know, and we can share with people in other countries, not all just the African market alone. There must be things that other tribes can use. It can be clothing, it can be herbal products, it can be something. They are innovative, they are skillful, and they give room to education, which helps them basically, you know, to be culturally intelligent. So my final words today, as we step into this series, next week we're going to be doing how to export. We have an expert who is going to come share with us. Please get rid of the Lot syndrome. If in case you have a Lot syndrome, from what I've shared, become an Abraham. Abraham has a large heart. Become the person that God says, I'm going to bless the world through you. But also don't think of me, think of us. When you find an opportunity, bring it to the group and say, oh, I found this opportunity and I think it might be good for us. Our analyst will look at it and then they can share with everyone. It is not a glory when you are the rich man in the midst of 6 poor people. You are the 7th poor man in disguise. A community becomes stronger when everyone can afford the basic things of life, and then when we have extras to invest and to also help people who are down. So let's maximize this month and collaborate and break every trust issues, right? And eliminate the lots in your life, relationships, groups that has not provided what they promised to you. Don't be emotional about it. Abraham was emotional, was why Lot went with him, right? And Lot almost put him in trouble. You can't be emotional. Relationship that has not served you, has not helped you. Every time you are crying, every time it's not moving you forward, but you keep managing because of what people will say. It could be your siblings, it could be your boyfriend, it could be your staff. You've hired someone you can't fire, right? It's time to get rid of the lots in your life so that when you get rid of the weight, you become light enough, then God can speak to you, because this month, God is going to ask you to look ahead of you, because it's going to show you new things across border, and the nations of the earth is going to be blessed through you. I pray God will keep you this month. I pray God will open your eyes and He will open your ears, and you'll be able to hear clearly and see clearly the next phase of your life, and you will find the right company that will collaborate with you to take on new opportunities without snitching on you or without messing up what you're trying to do. Thank you very much. I hope this has been helpful. I will see you next week by God's grace. Have a fantastic, fantastic Sunday. Over to you, Njideka.
Wow. I just want to clap because I don't know how else to show how I'm feeling. As I kept hearing PM talk about lot. I was just thinking in my mind, I wonder how many people there who are already pointing 7 relations who are the lots in their lives. Please, if you do not have any lot in your house, hallelujah for you. Just tell us in that group. If you don't have any lot in your house, just say I. Anybody? I can't see. Okay. Oh. And I hope we are not lots to other people's lives, because really, I was thinking about some people when I was hearing that. And one of them, I could see that my husband actually handled him the way that PF suggested, that sometimes you need to settle them. For me, I was really angry. You know how somebody would have dealt with you and you still need to give them something to let them go. But isn't that a powerful wisdom? Oh my word. Thank you. Thank you, PF. I think every time you talk about the importance of working together, importance of family, importance of having a common agenda, my heart just cries. I just really cry. I don't know if you guys can relate, but I've seen how people are working hard to do something, and because it's individual effort, it just tires the person till the person dies and nothing is achieved. And some people are discouraged by it. They will tell you, you remember so and so, he worked for this same thing and nothing came out of it. But the whole thing is not that working for it is bad. It's just that it's an individual effort. So I'm hoping that after listening to PF today, that we're going to start forming groups of people wherever we are. That's why we're starting this House of Savior, to come together, put energy together, put values together, and push, so that we will leave this world better than we found it. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you. I can see thanks going in the group. I'm sure that people were blessed today. I couldn't go to church this morning.